The biggest opportunities for students is for us to get out of the way.
Kids are very savvy now. They understand that when you are sitting in the classroom working on a workbook, that you're not doing something that's going to be in any way replicated in the real world.
We wanted to build a space to have kids think differently.
You know, it's okay for the students to fail, and part of the engineering design process shows they need to improve, they need to go back and rethink. And this is definitely going to be an area where our students are going to feel safe to take those risks.
Many of our students really are driven to create something that's wonderful and magnificent, and it will fall right in line with being motivated by this wonderful space.
Developing the Mercer Elementary Makerspace was a true collaborative effort between school outfitters, the Mercer Elementary PTA, the administration, and the teachers who champion maker activities. When we were brought in to consult on the project, the Mercer Makerspace team knew that they wanted to build a makerspace area at the back of the media center. Their plan was to see the makerspace come to life as a part of new construction that would open up the media center and make it easier to work with devices and other technologies.
We think the benefit is students get to experience what it's like in the real world.
And so it's really about what are the students creating in that engineer design process so that they're thinking and they're processing what they're doing rather than us telling them the answers. They're finding it out and learning more along the way.
A makerspace can take many forms. Some focus on building and construction, others on repurposing machinery, others on digital media, still more on robotics and circuitry. Many offer a combination of all of these. In creating a makerspace, the goal should be to furnish a space that best fits the team's vision for the activities that will take place there.
I see opportunities for every single discipline to utilize the makerspace.
We see them programming robots, flying drones, building prototypes, working together on the engineering design process to solve problems. We want them to start thinking critically.
I remember when we first had the meeting with School Outfitters, Tom was here and a couple of members of your team, and he was like, I can create the space for you within a second. I can just pick the product out. It's like, that's not what you need. You need a process so that when the space is here, people know what to do with it.
First, we needed to understand the Mercer team's needs and expectations before we could make recommendations about furniture and equipment.
I like it open. Yeah, I like that feel. I think that opens up kind of the creative process.
So School Outfitters gave us a researcher, market researcher, Greg Nelson, who was part of our team, met with us on a weekly, bi-weekly basis as we did this for over a year, helped us develop surveys, we did focus groups, and we actually did interviews from teachers, parents, kids, administration, and really developed a requirements list and made sure we checked all the boxes and kept people in the loop.
There was a lot of enthusiasm about it. It had been in the works for about a year. But they needed help in crafting their vision and in figuring out how they can get the right furnishings to match their needs.
Weekly communication between our researcher and the Mercer team was key to gaining insight into the requirements and selecting the best furniture and equipment.
School Outfitters has been fantastic because they've really asked questions. And in asking those questions, we really feel like they've been listening to us.
Our research showed that the makerspace would need a variety of workspace options for different types of maker activities. We needed workbench height tables for standing projects, mobile collaborative tables and desks for group work, and mobile soft seating for individual planning or informal gatherings. We needed storage solutions that would allow older students to access materials at heights that younger students could not reach without assistance. We needed low shelving with display areas for finished projects and in-progress projects. For this busy elementary school, it was important to select furnishings that would help keep tools and materials well organized for efficient and effective makerspace time.
This is going to be a very kinetic area of our school. Students kneeling, sitting, standing, laying down, all working together, moving around efficiently, gathering supplies, cleaning up supplies. We don't see this as a very uniform location where all the kids are going to be doing the same thing.
Working alongside our senior product designer, our researcher pulled together ideas for furniture that we specifically developed to support the kinds of activities that would take place in this makerspace.
Yeah, it's actually a really great table for that specific use.
The Mercer Makerspace team then went with our professional to hone the recommendations to match their functional needs. After the team agreed on the products, we handled the paperwork, creating quotes that fit the PTA's budget, and processed the order. Because Mercer Elementary was undergoing new construction, we made special arrangements with our warehouses to hold deliveries until their structural renovations were complete.
part of what I really wanted is the strategic thinking part, the problem solving part, and the innovation part. I just didn't want a makerspace. So School Outfitters had all those as values as an organization, and I knew they were going to bring that onto our team and deliver that for us.
Assembly was a team effort, including School Outfitters staff, PTA officers, a few of their children, the principal, and Maker Champion teachers. For the children, it was their first maker project, making their own makerspace. When we are involved in installation, we bring in professionals for assembly and debris removal, but in this case, the Mercer teams wanted to take ownership of the entire process, and we were glad to share in the excitement of putting together their new makerspace. In the end, we worked closely with the Mercer team to create a functional makerspace with inviting furnishings to attract students and educators, as well as keep them comfortable while they work. We employed our 5-step Learning Environment Action Plan, or LEAP as we call it, to make their team's vision a reality. At School Outfitters, our goal is to create spaces that get students excited and enthusiastic about learning. We are proud to have partnered with Mercer Elementary on their new makerspace.
I hope that kids can really let themselves go and they can learn about science, math, engineering, and technology. Just learn about it all.
It puts kids in charge of their own knowledge and their own thinking about thinking.
I think it's going to constantly evolve. The cool thing about a makerspace is that you can bring in different tools and projects, and it's not a stationary subject, so it evolves and changes.
They're going to be able to have an area of our school where it's okay to get a little messy, where they're going to have some state-of-the-art technical supplies or materials that they can use to build prototypes and just create and make and get that creative energy flowing.
I think the true measurement of the success of the Makerspace is when students say that they have been able to learn through this process and design and create great products.
Anytime you take a large amount of space in a building and you dedicate it to something very specifically, you are communicating a value. You are saying that this is a priority to us, and I'm just really excited for Mercer that we are dedicating such a large amount of our square footage to bring a makerspace into our elementary building. So it's going to enhance the learning for all of the individuals in our classroom.